Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first one is entitled Person Demands That I Be Arrested for Joking Around with a Police Officer When He Let Me Out of the Back of His Car. Apparently, I'm a criminal, no way I work for them. I work for a law enforcement agency in a pretty wealthy area, and the people can be a bit entitled, but not all. I have worked several jobs since I finished school, like dispatcher, records department, and finally moved into my current role, which is a hybrid of IT and equipment. I do all the testing and issue reports on non-tactical, ballistic items that we use. My biggest task is the vehicles themselves. Now, currently we are testing out back seats for the patrol cruisers. If you've ever seen one, they are generally just plastic, and very uncomfortable. They aren't meant for comfort, but problems do arise due to how slippery they are. The primary goal is easy to clean up, and nearly impossible for someone to try and conceal an item in the crease of cushions on a normal car. So, a new vendor approached us with a new material that goes in the back. It's non-stick and has some cushioning underneath. So, they install it on one vehicle, and I call up the officer who handles tactical, ballistic equipment purchases to schedule testing the vehicle out. Per our city's guidelines, we have to test it for a minimum of 12 hours in addition to testing that the manufacturer has done. So, I arrange with the officer to spend part of 2 days driving around alternating with me sitting in the back, handcuffed, and also him in the back, not handcuffed. I was simulating the role of a detained person in custody, while the officer would be playing the role of a witness who was being transported. Also, we would get in trouble legally if I cuffed him for the simulation, so problem solved. The first day went by okay, but the complaint we both had was that it's a bit unrealistic to be sitting in the back of a car for more than 30 to 45 minutes as it virtually never happens. Also, it's basically a yoga mat you're sitting on, but denser material, so not much padding. So, on the second day, I brought a pillow from home for my back, fused vertebrae. When we were just about finished with the second day, it was around lunch, and we decided to get lunch. The officer parks in front of a restaurant, and lets me out, and uncuffs me. I said, "Thank you Geeves, can you please get the door and we'll be off." Unfortunately, an older woman, probably late 60s, heard this, and thought I was ordering a cop around and treating him like a servant. She screamed at the top of her lungs that criminals like me don't get to order cops around, that I obviously must be a criminal. The officer tried to explain to her that I work with him and it was a joke. Nope, she's not buying that, not even when I get out my ID and show her. Nope, she's convinced I'm a criminal. She calls 911 and demands that the chief come out and explain these shenanigans. Yeah, not happening. The watch commander comes out, explains it, and scolds me and the other officer for making jokes while in an official capacity. The woman is absolutely incredulous that we weren't going to be arrested and terminated on the spot. So, of course, she smacks the watch commander and demands he do his job. So, someone got arrested. The next one is titled, My Dad is the Owner. Background. Long story short, 2 years ago, my white 50-year-old father bought a Vietnamese restaurant which we had been going to for years. Every Wednesday my father and I get together for lunch at his restaurant. On busy days, we will walk in and clear off a table by the kitchen which is usually covered in extra sauces, chili oils and seat ourselves. This is also where staffs sit when they eat on their breaks. On numerous occasions we have had customers make snide comments, tell us we cannot do what we are doing, etc. Usually not a big deal and people, hesitantly, accept that my dad really is the owner based on staff reactions. We have had the occasional person who comes in and refuses to believe that a white guy can own a Vietnamese restaurant. I think my favorite was when an Asian woman finally just accused my dad of bribing a waitress to get a table ahead of the Asian women's party. Silly, I know. My dad just went, "That is exactly what I did. In fact, I bribe everyone here every week." The Asian lady did not understand he was talking about paying out the staff's paychecks, but I was laughing my ass off. The next one is titled, Never Mess with the Smallest Bouncer. I used to be a bouncer at a very busy nightclub. I was the only female, because they needed someone that could legally keep an eye on the ladies' room. At the time, I was 5 feet 5 inches, 130 pounds. And I could probably hold my own in any military physical drill if I wanted. Not bragging, I'm a fat old lady now and I'm jealous of my past self. Some really big muscle-head guy came in with a giggling drunk bimbo and they tried to go into a bathroom stall together. Not just any stall, the only handicap stall. I got in front of him and stopped him from entering. He asked me what I thought I could do about it. He had not yet processed the fact that I worked there and was not just some girls upset that he was in the ladies' room. I said it didn't matter what I could do, I'd just hit my whistle and my boss, George, would arrive in a couple seconds flat. He finally understood that I was staff and scoffed. Now, because we were so very busy, we had multiple bouncers. Nobody was supposed to handle a customer on their own, so we all had whistles. The big guy starts getting attitude, and starts standing so close he's almost touching me, yelling at me, trying to intimidate me. I blew my whistle. I didn't know that my security manager had actually noticed the man come in and was already on his way. At that point, he raised his hand to hit me. That was all I needed. I grew up on a farm and knew how to manhandle angry animals. Edit to add this word. Some that were 5 times my size or more, including dogs, hogs, horses, goats, etc. I knew it is all about finding a weak spot and controlling their center of gravity. I ducked, went for a low center of balance, and basically did a lovely WWE spear, taking him back about 5 feet into the wall. I then took a step back and did what I had learned to do on the farm. I looked him hard in the eyes and growled. Don't judge, it works on farm dogs, and I just did it without thinking. He stayed flat against the wall, then looked toward the exit, maybe hoping to escape. There stood my manager, leaning on the doorframe and smiling. This poor man looked so defeated, knowing all the girls in the bathroom, including the one he was trying to score, and the security manager had just witnessed him get manhandled by a tiny girl. He just looked at my boss, and asked, "So, you're George?" George nodded without a word and gestured towards the door. The man left the club on his own, without raising another moment of fuss. Yeah, never mess with the small bouncers. There's a reason they were hired. The next one is titled, A Lady Thought I Was Kidnapping Her Child. A few years ago, I worked at the bookstore chain of the noblest of Barnes. I worked in the cafe and our uniform was just black clothes with a hat and our lanyard with name tag and an apron. When I would go for break, I would take off my apron but leave my hat on that very clearly said Barnes & Noble and my name tag that would hang from my neck. So, I was going for break and our break room was back behind the fiction and thriller section. This little kid who looked like he was 4 or 5 was wandering around in the aisle alone. I normally didn't think much of seeing kids alone in the bookstore. I used to do that myself. But he seemed kind of young for the section he was in and there weren't any adults in the aisle. I walked over to him and asked if he was there with someone. This woman comes from the other side of the aisle in a huff and grabs his wrist and yanks him away. I just put my hands up and showed her my lanyard. I told her I worked there. I was just trying to make sure he wasn't wandering around by himself. My store was in a mall, so it was pretty easy for kids to wander out into the mall by themselves. She was so mad still and told me I shouldn't talk to kids I don't know. I just rolled my eyes and said I was glad he was with an adult and went off to my break. The next one is titled, I Work in the IT Department. I work at a small hospital, 25 beds, in a small town in the rural Southwest. Staffing is so small. Everyone knows everyone on a first-name basis. I'm a sysadmin in the IT department, so I work in a team to keep the computers, printers, phones, and network running. I handle around 80% of the desktop and printer support and everyone in the hospital knows me as the lady that can fix any computer issue. One day, I came into work a little early to catch up on a project before the chaos began. It was in the middle of COVID, so we had to walk through a certain entrance for a member of the nursing staff to take our temp and ask the CDC questions. I walked into the screening area at 6:45 a.m., dressed in my usual khakis and polo shirt, hospital badge around my neck. Me. Good morning, nurse. Good morning. What are you in for today? I stare at her for a moment. I don't recognize her. Me. I'm here to work. She looked me up and down, taking in the lack of scrubs, before a look of confusion settled in. Nurse. I'm sorry. Are you a vendor? Me. Slowly raising badge to eye level so she can see it better. I'm insanity. I work in the IT department. Nurse. Oh my God. I am so sorry. I didn't even look at the badge. I have a feeling she needed coffee a lot more than me that morning. The next one is titled, I am the train driver. This happened about a week ago. I am a train driver in training here in Germany. It was my last shift before my scheduled vacation. My instructor and I were on our 30 minutes break. I sat in the cabin eating my lunch and he sat in the back eating his. Now we often park the train at the stations for passenger to get in. This is one of the times. A knock on the side window got me out of the piece of eating. I opened the window and looked at this lady. Lady. Who are you? What are you doing in there? Why aren't you wearing a mask? Me. I am the driver. I'm having my lunch. Lady scoffs. Yeah right, I know the driver and you aren't him. Me. If you mean my instructor, he is in here. Lady. Don't give me your bullshit. You most likely stole the train. Just then my instructor and station security heard the commotion and came to the front. Instructor. Karen, fake name. Long time no see. What's wrong? Lady. This little piece of garbage keeps telling me lies about being the driver. Instructor. Well, he is. He is my trainee. So be nice now and apologize or we might not be able to take you to destination today. The lady scoffed again and turned around to leave. Security talked her for a bit. Then she left the station yelling and stomping her feet. The next one is titled, New girl at the company tries to boss me around but actually I'm her boss. And then I caught her and her boyfriend in act and get them arrested. I, 26M, used to be operating manager in one of the largest HR company. It was a big congress that is going on at that time and I was in charge of 400 people, which most of them are university students. As you can expect I was running from one way to another without stopping to get the things sorted as fast as possible. Anyway, there was a new girl, 27F, which started to work in our company just 2 weeks ago. Before the shift started I gathered all the employees in one of the auditoria to give briefing about how the things will work smoothly. So, either she wasn't there, or she didn't pay attention to anything that I said for over half an hour. Everything was going good until I started to receive numerous complaints about how she bosses to everyone to make her things to others. By the way, she is just in charge of 10 people. And then I started to walk her assigned place to learn about WTF is going on. While I was walking towards her she comes in front of my face and yelled at me inside everyone for being a lazy worker, and she also said that I should listen to her commands all time. There was about 100 to 150 guests plus workers ATM. So, you guys can say that it is very inconvenient for when something like this happens while you are in charge of everything. Anyway, after that I told her to meet me in the room and we will discuss how I can be a better employee. I was little sarcastic at that time. After we went into the room, she directly sits one of the chairs and tell me to get her coffee before she starts to speak with me. And also, she said that I should hurry my ass because it will decide my future in the company. I was burst in laugh while I was walking to get her coffee that she requested. When I entered back to the room with her coffee I saw one of the department managers who works in our company, 34M. When he saw me entering the room he couldn't speak and remained silent. Obviously he knows that I'm the only boss in there. And finally, she started to speak with a sentence that goes on like that. Girl. You should meet with my boyfriend who is in charge of everything that goes on here. And she started to continue to give me a bullshit talk for about 15 minutes. I still don't know how I listened all the shit she is telling me. After she finishes talking I just said to her, I'm so sorry for the things that I do, and I look at her boyfriend and told him please do not fire me and walk out from the office. Then I give a quick call to my assistant and I told her to get me this girl and her boyfriend to my room. While I was walking towards my room, I get an urgent call from the CEO and I left the Congress Center for half an hour to meet with one of the main clients of our company. Anyway, when I go back to my room after the meeting with the client, I saw both of them in my computer and I immediately called the security. Then I discovered that they are trying to change the schedules of the 400 workers, mostly university students who work part-time, so that they can steal their daily earnings. Our company pays the employees on daily basis and the work schedule is the only reliable thing when we are going to make payment to our employees. So quick math, they were trying to steal nearly $32. While we were waiting for police to come, I just sipped my coffee and look at them. Later police take them to custody and also found heroin in girl's purse. Now they are both serving a quite reasonable jail time and it's still the best day of my work life even though I didn't do anything. The next one is titled, Asked If I Was the Manager. Worked over a decade past at a store chain a buddy dubbed Hy-Vee, which has stuck with me. At the time of this story, I worked dairy. I was missing 2 pieces of the uniform, belt and name tag. The button-up shirt wasn't buttoned all the way up, and the pocket had one side without stitching. My pants had a giant hole where my pocket is, no skin showed, and the knees were stained due to having kneel on that nasty floor. I didn't shave, have my tie all the way up, and shoes were always untied. I was fed up with the place. For my appearance, not a word was said about my appearance for at least 6 months. One day, I was returning to dairy from break, but hadn't quite gotten there. This vendor came up and asked, "Are you the manager of dairy?" One other note, regular employees had laminated name tags, and managers had the professional-looking black name tags. No. I have to ask, what makes you think I'm the manager? Vendor. You look like you know what you are doing. I thanked him for that and pointed at the manager stalking something 10 feet away. This manager was in pristine work attire. The next one is titled, I was the boss's son, had an entitled employee on my crew make a mistake. A little background. My father owns a telecommunications repair company and before that he worked in the industry for years, and since I hated daycare, I spent every summer helping him and learning to weld, rig cell phone tower antennas, shit like that. By the time I was 19 and dropped out of college, I decided to go get my certifications and ask my dad for a job. Well, he got a huge contract and hired 5 brand new guys with me and another veteran that's been working for him for years as crew leads to run all the repair projects. I end up with this massive drag who got fired from multiple different physical therapy clinics and is now 40 and unhireable by any other industry. But he has a massive superiority complex because he has a bachelor's and that somehow makes him better than tradesmen. On to the story. Me, CL. The other crew lead, DB. Douchebag. We are on the first site on the first day of a job for a major client taking down old antennas and putting up new ones. CL and I drive up to the site after morning meetings at the hotel with my dad and the client over Skype, and we've brought lunch for everyone. CL realizes that he forgot his hard hat at the hotel and tells me he'll be back in half an hour. No big deal, it's a simple job that I've done before with my dad. I drop the sandwiches in the refrigerated server room and go over to DB, who using a trailer hitch winch to haul a brand new antenna up the tower to our other guys who are 700 feet up at the top waiting to install it. He's got the antenna about 150 feet up at this point. Me. Hey DB, I think you've got your fasteners on backwards. The fasteners have to be perfect cause the higher the antenna gets, the more wind, the more tension on the winch. DB. They're fine. Me. No, they're definitely backwards. DB. They're fucking fine. Go the fuck away, bootlicker. Guess that was his derogatory for me being the boss's kid. Me. No, they're backwards and by the time it gets up there the winch is going to slip, and that antenna is gonna drop. Bring it back down and fix it. DB. I don't have to do shit for someone who's half my age and couldn't make it through a year of college. Only reason you're here is your daddy's kid and can't make it in the real world. Right as he finishes the sentence, I hear the winch crack, so I grab DB and run both of us into the server shelter, smashing all the sandwiches in the process, while the winch flies out of the hitch mount and the antenna drops like a rock onto the truck, carving straight through the cab and into the ground underneath. Me. Aw fuck, so you can't rig right and don't have the common sense to put the pin in to secure the winch to the truck? DB. There's no way that was my fault me. Not only is it your fault, but now I get to explain to both OSHA and our insurance how we managed to damage over $70K in equipment and $30K in our client's equipment in the first day on this job. I spent the rest of the day calling OSHA, my dad, our insurance, and my mother, our accountant, to make sure that all the right reports get filed and our asses are covered on all bases. I'm assuring the other crew guys their paychecks aren't going to be affected and that I'll get them more sandwiches. After the end of day reports are finished, my dad calls me up and tells me to fire DB for negligence. So, I go up to him. Me. Hey, you're being let go. Sorry, but this incident is just something we can't afford to happen again, and since it was obviously DB, you can't fire me. CL. Pretty sure he can fire you. And if you don't believe him, I'll fire you. If you don't believe either of us, we can go see the boss tomorrow. DB. Fuck it, let's go talk to the boss. Right now. It's like 4 p.m. We drive 3 hours, interrupt my family's dinner, and then sit there smugly on the couch in my dad's home office while he literally screams at this guy about costing him $100K and maybe a lost contract, and basically tells the guy he's filing a civil suit for negligence since I specifically came and told him he was doing something incorrectly. DB. What does he know? He's just a kid. Dad. I taught him how to rig a winch when he was 8 and he did it right. You're a 40-year-old man who managed to crush an entire truck. Get the fuck out of my house. Thank you very much for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and post some star emojis in the comments if you want to support Reading Bear.